re-elected in that elections process that took place the day before yesterday, and of course was finalized yesterday, and the results also announced then. SG, good morning to you. Welcome.
Morning, Voy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What do you attribute the victory of the Zuma slate to?
I'm not sure if it is a slate, Voyo. Let me tell you why I don't think it's a slate. Let me talk about my name. Gauteng, which didn't nominate Zuma, did nominate me for the position of Secretary General. Once you begin to see that mixture of people converging in a name across slates, it's a positive sign. But what is important is that we have now elected the leadership of the ANC that must lead the organization, not a slate.
And what do you attribute this particular success to?
I think members try to get the best team that they can get for the ANC. That is what is happening every 5 years. And I think they have got the best team available this time around.
Yeah. Do you feel like you lost in the departure of the Deputy President, Kgalema Motlanthe?
You will know, Vuyo, that I've been working with Comrade Kgalema from the NUM. And we've been working together in the ANC. Obviously, I cannot pretend to be like, okay, fine, it's good riddance. It's not. I feel like we will be missing something that he was making as a contribution to the collective, which is special and unique for him.
What is that special and unique quality?
I don't think I want to get to those details, but I can just tell you that the most important contribution that Kgalema makes in any collective he has been is to add the ideological and philosophical flavor to all the discussions. And therefore he's not a sloganeering person. He always dig deep into things and try to theorize them, help everybody think broader and theoretical.
Yeah. So you will miss that?
Will miss that, but he is a member of the ANC. He will not miss it because the ANC can still deploy him to do some work to continue making that contribution.
He said he's not available for the NEC. Could he be available for other deployment, as it were?
If he's a member of the ANC, we assume that he's available for other deployments. That is the assumption we make. He's a member of the ANC in good standing. Therefore, he should avail himself for deployment to any other tasks.
Some have been arguing that perhaps the cleavages that began in Polokwane continue to find themselves here, and it's a challenge for the ANC going forward. President Zuma called for unity. Some are saying, well, calling for unity is different to having a practical way of rebuilding this unity. What is the way forward in your view?
I don't know, Vuyo. People in South Africa talk about democracy a lot. But when democracy is practiced, they call it division. I don't understand what is meant by South Africans. Unity must happen in action. It can't be unity that is papering over cracks, if there are any, or forcing everybody to think the same, say the same thing, mimic one another. That is not unity. Unity is about being able to exercise rights, differ, engage, have diverse views in an organization, but continue going on the same course. Now, I'm making that point because it is the culture and tradition of the ANC to hold regular conferences and elect leadership. If that was not the case, I'm sure after 100 years, the ANC would have 4 or 5 presidents. The fact that it is having 12 is reflecting that tradition that has been with the ANC for a long time.
So just looking at the process here, are you now saying there are no divisions in the ANC, or are you saying these divisions are just part of the character of the organization and the organization will march forward, that notwithstanding?
Let me talk about something that people talk about a lot, called factions. I always remind people that if you want one Secretary General of the ANC who wrote a lot about factions, it will be a man called Dumanokwe. He wrote a lot about factions because he came at the time when the Pan-Africanist faction within the ANC was very strong and ultimately broke away to form the PAC. He wrote a lot, and I always tell people that factions in an organization are as old as organizations. And when discussions become polemical, obviously they begin to create groupings in an organization, and it's natural in politics. Sometimes those polemics become violent polemics how strong people feel about issues. And to me, I refuse to buy to this notion that when there are diverse views and people disagree strongly, therefore that is division. It's not division, it's politics, it's human beings. They must think, we must engage, and there must be these discussions that are robust, and that is not division.
Are you worried, though? The president seemed to be worried, saying that we shouldn't treat other comrades as if they do not belong to the party. We shouldn't make them feel like they don't belong to the party. Is that not something that concerns you as well?
He was actually talking to a particular behavior in conference of singing songs that seemed to ridicule others. And he was saying, don't ridicule each other. We may have disagreed on this matter. We belong together. We're going to agree on 10 other issues. So let's find a way of remaining comfortable with each other. And I think that was a very important message for conference, because delegates tend to have these songs that always talk to issues. And sometimes you don't know, when did they think about this song? You listen to it and say, but what is this? And therefore, the president was talking to that behavior. Please stop these gestures now. Stop these songs. Let's go ahead with the conference, because once the leadership is elected, it's a leadership of the ANC, not the leadership of a faction.
Now that, just one last question on the former deputy president. Now that he is no longer with the NEC and so on, is he likely to be recalled from the deputy presidency of the country?
No, I don't think so. The term of government ends in 2014. It is not going to happen. That is an extraordinary measure if it happens. I don't think there is any indication at this point in time that there is need for that extraordinary measure.
That indication may yet develop?
No, you can't predict, but there is nothing that point to that direction at this point in time.
Right. There's so much to talk about. Thank you very much. As we cut away from you, we spent some time yesterday talking about fashion at the gate, and your shoes are quite interesting. They're in the colors of the ANC. I'm just going to ask our camera person to pen down, if you will. But don't just show us your shoes. Show us the socks.
There you are.
The socks have also got the socks are red. They've got the socks are also branded. There you go. So that
is the ANC.
So you're walking on top of the alliance.
I'm actually walking with the alliance.
Thank you very much. Gwede Mantashe, Secretary General of the ANC. I'm telling you, there is a lot of fashion to talk about in Mangaung. Are we taking a break?